So what certifications should you get? A lot of people get confused or they wonder which certifications they should pursue. And for good reason, because there is over 400 cybersecurity certifications out there. And while a lot of them have a lot of overlap with each other, they all serve a very unique purpose. And there are dozens, multiple dozens of different cybersecurity roles out there. So different certifications serve different purposes. And in this video, I'm going to give you a very simple framework to help you select the cybersecurity certification that is right for you. This video is not going to tell you specifically what certification you should go after, because the certifications you should go after are constantly changing as the job markets change, as the industry changes, as new certifications get updated, as new certifications come out, and heck, there's even more certification bodies coming out, seems like every day. So this is going to be a framework to help you evaluate which certifications are worth your time. Now, I have certifications broken down into two categories. The first one being certifications that help you land the interview. I also like to consider these certifications that give you corporate cred. And these certifications, these are the ones on your job postings, the job boards. They're on LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, Dice, ZipRecruiter, wherever. All these certifications, they are the ones that are listed on the job postings. And they help you land interviews because they are what, like the hiring managers and the recruiters, that's the ones that they know about. And that's what they put on the job descriptions and the job postings. And these certifications are valuable because they are the certifications that the hiring managers and recruiters know about. And that's on the job boards and the job postings. And if you're wondering what certifications specifically these are, you just have to go look at the job postings, the job boards. Search for whatever role you're pursuing: pentester, cybersecurity engineer, SOC analyst, governance risk compliance, DevSecOps, whatever role you're trying to pursue. Just type in that role, that title, into a job board website, and then just look at the jobs. And then scroll down to the job requirements or the preferred qualifications. And almost always there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 certifications on every job board. And what you're going to do is you're just going to look at all the available openings, and you're going to literally take notes of what certifications are popping up for that job role that you are pursuing. You're also going to see a difference between, entry-level jobs, which are basically non-existent now, but you'll see a difference between like mid-level professionals and senior professionals, like what certifications, like is the differing factors between what makes a mid-level professional and a senior professional, or even an entry-level, if you can find an entry-level job. Like I said, it's pretty rare, almost non-existent nowadays, unfortunately. And what you're going to do is you're literally going to count how many times these certifications pop up for the role that you're trying to pursue. And then you're going to collect this data, and then you're going to look at whatever ones pop up, the top 3, 4, 5 certifications that pop up the most for your particular job role. Those are certifications you should be pursuing. And these certifications are typically the well-known ones. And the certification bodies that these certifications are well-known, this is your CISSP. I know I said I was going to mention specific certifications, but that is the most in-demand cybersecurity certification on the market today. So that's ISC2. You got CompTIA, EC Council, Crest if you're over in the UK, or if you have UK clients. I recently got some Crest certifications because of client demand, even though I don't live in the UK. And there might be even some other ones out there. But these certifications are typically not hands-on. These are typically multiple choice certifications because these are the ones that have been around for a while, the ones that recruiters and hiring managers know about. And I think this is going to be a little bit of a hot take, but I think these certifications that aren't hands-on keep popping up in job postings. CEH. They keep popping up because I feel like HR professionals, they like Google what's the best certification, and then they get like the CH always pops up for some reason, even though it's kind of trash. And I'm not throwing shade at it for no reason. I had that certification, by the way. It's still actually active, and I got it to bypass HR filters, to be honest with you. But yeah, a lot of people get flagged to the non-hands-on certification, and for good reason, because cybersecurity is very hands-on, very technical. And but these certifications, what I like to say, the ones that give you the interviews, the ones that give you the corporate cred, the non-hands-on, the non-technical certifications, they do have value because, like I said, these are certifications that the recruiters and hiring managers know about, and it's going to help you get that interview. And because of that, they have value. People want to get flagged the non-hands-on certs, but if it's going to help you get to interview, then it's totally worth it, and it's definitely worth considering, especially if it pops up repeatedly in the job board search results, like I was talking about. Now, the other type of certification are your hands-on certifications. Also, what I like to consider the certifications that give you street cred. These are typically not popping up on job boards as much. And the reason why they don't pop up on job boards that much is because these hands-on certifications are pretty new. For example, hack the box certifications, new. Try hacking, new. TCM security, new. Offsec, been around for a while, very hands-on, very technical. And I would say Offsec is probably the only certification body that actually can fill both slots. They give you both the corporate cred and the street cred to help you land an interview, to help build the real world skills. And this is why I think Offsec is very valuable, despite what the Offsec haters are saying. I think Offsec is a wonderful certification body because, like I said, the recruiters and hiring managers, they know about Offsec, and guess what? They're not multiple choice certs. Extremely technical, extremely hands-on. You have to write a report to pass, and they're very difficult. They're very difficult and time-consuming to get. So that's why, in my opinion, they're expensive, but the ROI is very high. But yeah, the recruiters and hiring managers, they don't really know about these new ones for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the deal is with the hiring in the job market right now, but it just seems like hiring managers and recruiters are kind of out of touch with the industry. And it's kind of crazy to say that because this is going to be another little bit of a hot take, but they expect you to be up to date in the industry, but yet they don't know about hack the box certs. They don't know about try hack me certs. You know what I mean? This is why hiring managers and recruiters don't respect your top 1% try hack me. They have no idea what that even is for some reason, even though try hack me's been around for several years now. It's like, dude, you're really that far in the times? But I digress. I'm not a hiring manager. And if you're a hiring manager and I rubbed you the wrong way, I don't really care. But yeah, these certifications, they're good for building your hands-on skills, not necessarily to help you land an interview. And you need to build those hands-on skills because, like I said, cybersecurity is extremely technical. Cybersecurity is very hands-on keyboard, and you have to have those technical skills. And after you land that initial interview, your second interview, or maybe your third interview, is going to be a technical interview. And if you don't have those hands-on skills, you're not passing that technical interview. So it's important to have these technical skills. And not only is these certifications going to help you pass the technical interview, they're going to help you actually perform well on the job. And that's where these certifications come into play. Because if you don't get these technical certifications or you don't build technical skills, you don't necessarily have to have a certification to build the skills, but it gives you a structured path to follow, which is what I like. Because you don't know what you don't know. People say, oh, you don't need certifications to build hands-on skill. You don't. But to be honest with you, like, how are you supposed to know what to learn if someone doesn't tell you what to learn? Like, for example, like I'm doing OSCP and I'm learning about I don't know, pros escalation on Windows. Like, I don't know all the pros techniques out there. And like the OSCP course will give me a list of pros techniques for Windows. Same thing for any other certification like Hack the Box or Try Hack Me. Like, I don't know, like, how am I supposed to look up like unscheduled tasks, you know, or unquoted service pass? Like, I would have no idea what unquoted service pass is if it wasn't for Try Hack Me and offsec, to be honest with you. Try Hack Me introduced that concept to me. Offsec helped me lab it up. So that's why I like certifications. They've definitely been the #1 thing for my career, and I recommend getting as many as you can because, like I said, almost every job board posting has 5, 6, 7, 8 certifications listed. So it's in your best interest to have as many certifications as you can. And that goes against the grain of what a lot of people are saying out there, but in my opinion, there's no such thing as having too many certifications, and I have 19 certifications currently, and it's never bit me in the butt having a lot of certifications. It really hasn't. And every time I get one, it levels me up every single time, which is why I keep getting them, because every time I get one, it helps me out in some way, shape, or form. Even though I'm already in the field, getting certifications helps me out. So hopefully this framework helped you decide which certifications to get. Also, I almost forgot to mention, if you want to figure out like what are the good hands-on certs to get, just look at the certs that don't have multiple choice questions. Look at the certs that require a report at the end. Look at the certs that require hands-on skill. Look at the certs that professionals in the field who are actively working in the field, look at the ones that they are obtaining, because they're already in the field. They're not getting certifications to land an interview. They're looking at certifications to level up and grow their skills. So when you see professionals who are already in the field, who's already established in a role, getting a hands-on certification, then it's worth considering those certifications, because people who are in the field, they want to level up. So pay attention to professionals in the field who aren't necessarily getting certifications to help land a job. They're just looking to grow and get better. Those are certifications that you should be considering if you want to build the hands-on skills. So yeah, hopefully this certification framework has helped you out. Like I said, it's very simple. There's 2 types: certifications that help you land interviews, certifications that give you corporate credit, certifications that help you build skills, and certifications that give you street cred. And if this video resonated with you, you got a little earlier, I wrote about this about 9 months ago on my newsletter, the Cyber Mindset Digest, and it helps you think differently about cybersecurity. And I'm putting valuable content in that newsletter every single week, and it's the bleeding edge of what's on my mind well before it hits any other type of content that I'm putting out there, like this video. So hopefully I see you on the newsletter, and if you're subscribed to the newsletter, feel free to email me back. Just hit reply and just tell me what you think. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, or just let me know what you want to see in the newsletter, because I purposely set it up to where all you have to do is hit reply on that newsletter and you can have a direct line to me. So that's another reason why you should sign up for the newsletter if you want to communicate with me. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Peace out. Take care. Have a good one. Guys are out.